back to the channel, guys. I wanted to do a short video on MSTR and IBIT. So there are two paths to Bitcoin exposure, and one is obviously a leveraged software company, MicroStrategy, and then we've got the pure spot ETF, iShares Bitcoin Trust. And I kind of want to understand the impact of what's happening, because obviously before we had MSTR, we could actually get an entry into Bitcoin if there was no other way to access it. Obviously now with IBIT on the scene and some regulations loosening up a little bit on cryptocurrencies and where we can hold them, it'd be interesting to see the impact of whether people will move to IBIT versus MSTR and what impact that will have on MSTR. So in terms of the amount of Bitcoin holdings, MicroStrategy's 305,000 Bitcoins and iShares is 550. So almost 500,000 surpassed. And we can see in such a short space of time that the amount of people investing in the iShares Bitcoin Trust has exploded. So how do they work to give you exposure to Bitcoin is slightly different. So investing in MSTR involves multiple layers. You own a piece of a software company that holds Bitcoin, which is partially purchased using debt, and this structure creates leverage. So you've got software company, debt, MSTR stock, and then the Bitcoin. IBIT works differently. You're investing in IBIT is a direct mechanism. So the ETF takes the investor's money and buys Bitcoin, which it holds in custody. The share price directly reflects the value of the underlying asset, in this case, Bitcoin. So investor buys IBIT shares and then gets the Bitcoin. If we were to look at sort of Bitcoin's holdings growth versus the price, so MSTR began accumulating around about 2020. IBIT launched in 2024 and has quickly surpassed MSTR's holdings. Since then, IBIT's inflows have continued, widening its lead as the largest single holder of Bitcoin now. So what we're seeing here is that all the people that wanted to have a Bitcoin holding indirect are now shifting more and more to IBIT than to MSTR. If we look at the rationale by some of this, the premium to net asset value plays a big role. IBIT trades very close to its NAV, so the value of its Bitcoin holdings, due to the ETF's kind of creation redemption mechanisms. MSTR often trades at a significant premium, meaning you are paying more for its shares than the underlying value of its Bitcoin and software business combined. And we can see that this is astronomical. It's 75% versus 0.03. When we look at key risks as well, MSTR's risks, it's leveraged, right? So its debts used to buy Bitcoin amplifies both the gains and the losses, as with anything that's got leverage associated to it. The premium risk, so we just looked at the premium to net asset value, the stock's high premiums to NAV could easily collapse. And then you've got company risk tied to the performance of its software business and management decisions. IBIT risk is the market risk directly exposed to 100% of the Bitcoin price volatility. It's obviously got counterparty risk as well, so it relies on custodians like Coinbase to secure the Bitcoin. And then you've got regulatory risk. Future ETF regulations could impact the fund in some way. So from a key takeaways perspective, MSTR versus IBIT, which Bitcoin proxy is for you? MicroStrategy is an indirect leverage bet on Bitcoin, includes a core software business, carries company risk, debt risk, and often high premiums, best for sort of high conviction bulls seeking leverage. iShares Bitcoin Trust, a direct unleveraged holding of Bitcoin, functions as a pure spot ETF, closely tracks Bitcoin's price, NAV, best for investors seeking pure just Bitcoin exposure. Again, nothing I've shared here is investment advice, but hopefully you can start to see there might be some challenges and headwinds for MSTR for people that want exposure to Bitcoin, as they're more likely to maybe move into the iShares Bitcoin Trust now than MicroStrategies or buying MicroStrategy shares. So again, love to know your thoughts in the comments. to let me know what your thoughts are around this. As always, none of this is financial advice. Please do your own research. Thank you again to the 100% Club for getting to the end of this video, and I will catch you on the next one.